Hey guys, welcome to Cool Vision. In this video, we're going to visit Tajikistan.
Hey guys, and welcome to Tajikistan. It's a country in Central Asia with a very mountainous terrain. 93% of the terrain is mountains, okay? It has friendly people, delicious cuisine, and a great culture to explore. So let's start the journey. Tajikistan, Bapesh.
Tajikistan is a country in Central Asia surrounded by Afghanistan to the south, Uzbekistan to the west, Kyrgyzstan to the north, and China to the east. The area is 143,000 square kilometers, and mountains cover 93% of the country. I gotta be honest, before coming here, I heard mixed opinions about the country. That it's dangerous, not so well developed, and looks like a large bazaar with people running around trying to sell you something. Well, the reality is different. It's not that much different from any other Central Asian country. Let's start. My driver for this trip will be Ilham.
Hello, my name is Ilham Can. I'll be driver in this trip and Tajikistan Bapesh.
We're gonna visit the two largest cities, some awesome lakes, remote villages, and even take a peek at the Pamir Highway, where we nearly got hit by fallen rocks. Dushanbe is the capital of Tajikistan, located right over here.
This is the largest city and the capital of Tajikistan. It now has a population of 1.2 million people.
Dushanbe enjoys a mild subtropical climate, being located in the Hazar Valley, surrounded by mountains. I was visiting in May, and it was incredibly green. Dushanbe means Monday from Tajik language. And before the Soviets made it the capital of the Tajik Republic of the USSR in 1922, it was a small town known for its Monday Bazaar. During the Soviet days, Dushanbe was called Stalinabad, named after Stalin. But now decommunization has been going on for some time, and many streets and cities have been renamed. Rudaki Avenue is the central street. This is a good place to start a walking tour. It used to be called Lenin Avenue during the USSR.
Plenty of benches where you can find shelter from the sun under the tall plane trees.
It takes you along many places of interest like Aini Opera and Ballet Theater, which was constructed in 1940, located in a beautiful area full of fountains, and the Museum of Antiquities.
If you guys like history, and who doesn't, you might want to visit the National Museum of Antiquities of Tajikistan, and you'll get to see some really cool artifacts from like the 7th and 8th centuries.
Long before Islam was brought to this land, they followed Buddhism and Zoroastrianism. Rudaki Avenue takes you to Dosti Square, or Friendship Square. There's a huge Ismail Somoni monument. Ismail Somoni is considered to be a national hero of Tajikistan. It was Somoni who gave the Tajiks their first homeland, the Samanid Empire. But it was a much bigger state and stretched into many today's countries, including Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, and Iran. Tajikistan is different from other Central Asian nations because Tajiks are not of Turkic but are of Iranian descent and speak Tajik language, which is a variety of Persian or Farsi and is closely related to neighboring Dari of Afghanistan. When it comes to public transportation, the city has trolley buses that have been in operation since 1955, long before anything electric became mainstream. They also plan to have 100% electric taxi fleet by the year 2025.
Самое вкусное мороженое.
I see these ice cream stands all over the city. Let's try it.
Как вас зовут?
Меня зовут Абдурахман.
Очень приятно. Скажите, чем вы занимаетесь?
В основном я занимаюсь риэлторством, продаю дома. И где-то вот 3 дня назад поставил аппарат для мороженого.
Скажите, чем вам нравится город Душанбе?
Душанбе очень как бы красивый солнечный город. Душанбе находится очень красивые места. У нас очень красивые горы, где можно пойти отдохнуть с семьей.
See this impressive building in the distance? This is the Palace of the Nation, but you cannot visit it, unfortunately. That's because it's the official residence of the president. In front of it is a huge flagpole. At 165 meters, it was the tallest flagpole in the world when it was completed in 2011, but now it's the 4th tallest. The flag alone weighs 700 kilograms. A good place to learn about Tajik art and history from ancient to modern times is the National Museum of Tajikistan. The highlight of this museum is the 13-meter long Buddha statue, which was discovered in the 1960s. It weighs 5.5 tons, and it's another proof of Tajikistan's Buddhist past. Among modern additions to the city, I highly recommend Nowruz Palace, completed in 2014.
Originally, it was supposed to be just a giant tea house.
But now it houses a bowling alley, a pool center, a movie theater, a restaurant, and most importantly, 4 amazing conference halls where they receive high-ranking guests like presidents of other countries. You can take a guided tour and you'll be impressed with the wood carvings, mosaics, ceiling frescoes, and parquet floors. Beautifully decorated and very lavish. It is right next to Hyatt Regency Dushanbe, which is considered the best hotel in town. Dushanbe has many beautiful mosques, like the Haji Yaqub Mosque, the main mosque of the city, built in 1856, named after Haji Yaqub, a historic Tajik religious leader, and the modern Dushanbe Central Mosque, which took 10 years and $100 million to complete, and now it's one of the largest mosques in Central Asia. It can accommodate as many as 130,000 people. The government of Qatar played a huge part and financed 70% of the total costs. All right, I'm getting hungry. Let's try some local food. When it comes to Tajik cuisine, kuratop is the national dish. It's also known as bread salad. It's a mix of bread and yogurt sauce with vegetables and meat or without meat. Shurba is a popular soup consisting of meat, potatoes, veggies, and broth. And plov, of course. Sure, you'll find this dish all over Central Asia, but it's one of the most beloved dishes in Tajikistan. It consists of rice, meat, onions, carrots, and spices. Very substantial if you ask me. It always makes me sleepy. In Tajikistan, they love chaka. It's a local sour dairy product. You'll see it on the table and you can eat it as an independent food or add it to many dishes. A good place to try local food is the legendary tea house called Rakhat.
It's lunchtime, I'm hungry, and luckily we have come to the legendary tea house in Dushanbe. It's been in business since 1958.
Amazing architecture, and the food is great.
We ordered manti, one of the national dishes of Tajikistan, alongside with kurtop and plov. It's basically dumplings, steamed dumplings, and we got some salad, some naan, round bread, and of course some green tea, which is perfect for hot weather, and now it's getting hot.
Now, we'll get back to Dushanbe at the end of the video, but for now, let's travel outside the city. The first place we're going to go to is the Hizor Fortress, which is just some 35 minutes away from the capital. This fortress is one of the best preserved historical sites in Tajikistan. Strategically located on a hilltop, it was built around 2,500 years ago and is said to date back to Cyrus the Great, the founder of Persian Achaemenid Empire in 550 BC, and to have been captured 21 times. Not that it's something to boast about. Before the Russian Empire took over at the end of the 19th century, it was the residence of the governor of the Emirate of Bukhara, which is modern-day Uzbekistan. You can climb the stairs and get a great view.
You can see the city of Dushanbe right there in the distance. So no wonder they picked this particular spot for the defense construction. It made sense. If the enemy's coming, you can see it.
Don't forget to go behind the fortress and ride a horse. It's a great way to relax after a hard day's work. Tajik people love wearing traditional clothes, and they're so colorful. Assalamu alaikum, Baradaruni Aziz.
Мы примеряем разные там наряды, фотографируемся.
Это кулябский наряд, это худжанский.
А, это еще и разные регионы, да?
Да, еще памирский был, они это раньше был
там
памирский наряд.
If you look at how people are dressed, most men are wearing suits, and ladies wear colorful traditional clothes. Quite a contrast. Besides their clothes, they love melons and watermelons. I even came across a building shaped as a melon. It is not functional at the moment, but it looks pretty nice. Now, let's travel to the second largest city, Khujand, which lies in the north of the country. We'll make a few stops along the way because it's about the journey, not the destination, right? As you're leaving the city, you'll be driving through Varzob Gorge. This is a stunning gorge to drive through. It's a popular weekend destination among locals. Basically, it's a collection of vacation homes and hotels with picturesque views. Lovely place for hiking and trekking. I was told there are some incredible waterfalls and a beautiful valley. The travel time to Khujand from Dushanbe is around 5 hours, but the journey can easily be split into two parts because you can visit the gorgeous Iskanderkul Lake on the way. And that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Well, talk about a beautiful start of the day, guys. We are in the Fan Mountains, and this is the one and only Iskanderkul Lake. And from Persian, Iskander means Alexander. So it was named after Alexander the Great when he came through this region to conquer it. And one of the legends goes that his horse drowned in this lake.
This is one of the most beautiful places in all of Tajikistan. By the way, Kul means lake, Iskander means Alexander. The elevation is 2,195 meters. The proximity to glacial mountains helped give the lake its signature radiant shades of teal blue. It was formed hundreds of years ago as the result of an earthquake that triggered a landslide, trapping the lake in the valley below. We came at the right time. While the temperatures are cooler in May, there'll be fewer visitors than during midsummer. It was 12 Celsius and sunny, nothing to complain about. I recommend staying for the night. There's nothing better than having breakfast by the beautiful lake and making friends with other travelers.
My name is Robert. I'm originally from the Netherlands. I live in Australia at the moment.
Good stuff.
Hi, I'm Ivo from Bulgaria, and this is the second leg of my world trip.
Helen from Australia, travelling together with my husband Rob, and we're on a 6-month journey, so loving every moment.
We are in this beautiful part of Tajikistan. We're surrounded by Fan Mountains. Behind us is Iskanderkul Lake. And I just met Louis.
Hey, how you going?
Louis, where do you come from?
Australia.
So I heard you did some hiking.
Yeah, lots of hiking. Did a couple of days up in the Seven Lakes, and then went to Kulakalan Lake, did a big mountain hike.
Any advice to someone who thinks about that?
Yeah, like good hiking apps. I've been using All Trails, which is a good one.
All Trails, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. If you could just do tours, which makes it sort of a bit easier, and they can do it for you. But if that's a bit out of your price range, like it is for me, it's just, I think, being a bit diligent and doing a lot of research. Yeah.
Has wildlife been of a concern to you?
Not particularly. I mean, yeah, I hear there are sort of bears and wolves up in the mountains, but I haven't come across anything so far. So
we only saw some rabbits. Did you see some rabbits?
No, I didn't even see rabbits.
You didn't?
Just lots of birds,
Okay.
some cows.
So nothing to worry about, really.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. What's been the highlight of your hiking trip?
I think the hike I did here yesterday was really nice. It was a good 7-8 hour hike up, along, like I said, along the lake, and then through to the next town, and then past that it was after that town it just got really quiet. It was sort of more like game trails and just nice like meadows along the stream, and then at the end just did like a little up the mountain and got some nice views of, I think it would be that mountain from the other side.
Right.
And it was just very peaceful.
That looks really intimidating to me.
I didn't get all the way up. It was sort of more through, and then
no glaciers.
No glaciers. No,
Okay.
Not prepared for that.
All right. Well, enjoy your stay in
cool.
Tajikistan.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
doing this.
Yeah, all good.
Thank you.
While you're here, don't forget to visit the waterfall. I don't know if it has a specific name, but it's a light 2-kilometer hike, and everybody knows where it is. This waterfall is 43 meters high and is partially hidden in a narrow rocky gorge. Standing on this platform, you just gotta trust whoever built it that is gonna hold you and not fall down. Have some faith, you know? Anyway, we gave a ride to our Australian friends to the main highway, and we were back on the road to Khujand. Now that they completed all the tunnels, the travel time between the two cities was reduced to 5 hours, but it used to be 9 hours, and you had to travel through Uzbekistan. The tunnels are long, dark, and scary, and it's quite an experience. Anzob Tunnel is the scariest. The length is 5 kilometers. Locals nicknamed it the Tunnel of Fear. It's very dim, hardly any lights, and there are many potholes. Does that sound inviting? If that wasn't enough, there is only one fan in the tunnel that tries to push out the air filled with exhaust gases. So I think it's a good idea to turn off the fresh air intake in your car before entering the tunnel. Like it or not, that's the only passage from north to south of Tajikistan. Also, expect occasional traffic delays caused by these guys. And finally, we reached the city of Khujand. It is one of the oldest cities in Central Asia, dating back 2,500 years to the Persian Empire.
Wow, it says that Cool Vision is in town. Well, let's check it out.
Situated on the Sirdarya River in the Fergana Valley, Khujand was a major city along the Silk Road. In 329 BC, it was captured by Alexander the Great, and later it was part of various empires. Let's do the sights first. You can start with Dushanbe Bazaar. It's the largest bazaar in Tajikistan. Get here early in the morning when the market is at its busiest. The market is huge, noisy, colorful, and with an abundance of aromas. Quite captivating. Watermelons, round bread, spices, varieties of rice, dry fruits, and fresh produce.
Уважаемые гости, покупаем все витаминчики, дешевле, недорого. Акция идет, кому нужны? Аллах вам счастья, радости, здоровья желаю.
Сколько такие красивые лепешки стоят?
Это 8 рублей, это 10, это 6 сомон.
Outside there is a busy market square, lots of activity, people selling seasonal berries, kids driving battery-powered cars and running around. You know, just like I pictured Tajikistan before coming here. It is undoubtedly a good place for people watching.
This is Dushanbe Bazaar, and actually Dushanbe means Thursday. So it's funny because Dushanbe means Monday, and this is the square in front of the market, and it's just so busy. There's so many merchants and kids driving the small cars, running you over, and everybody selling stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. If you love attention, if you love busy places, that's the place to be.
Свежий урожай, да, уже?
Свежий урожай. Вот такая. Ну еще бери.
1 килограмм 15 самани.
Right opposite the market, you'll find structures dating back from the 16th and 17th centuries. The Sheikh Muslihuddin Mausoleum.
And this is the mausoleum of Sheikh Muslihuddin, who was the ruler of Khujand since 1137 till 1214.
Also, there are two mosques, one dating back to the 16th century, and the other one is a new one. What you see on the screen is the Friday prayer. The population of Tajikistan is 98% Muslim, but religious activities are very much regulated. For example, those under 18 are not allowed to go to the mosques, beards are not allowed in public offices, and hijabs are not allowed in schools, and so on. Next place I recommend is Arbob Cultural Palace. This is an interesting place.
It was built in the 1950s. And behind the idea of building such a palace was Mr. Urun Hujayev, who was the head of a few collective farms. This idea came to him when he visited St. Petersburg, and he got to see Peterhof Palace. And he was so impressed with the beauty and sophistication of that place that he asked the political leaders the permission to build something like this in his city.
The entrance is flanked by large portraits of Ismail Somani and President Imam Ali Rahman. The grounds are beautiful and tranquil, with mountain views and lots of roses. Next place we're going to visit is Khujand Fortress. This is the main architectural landmark erected in honor of the liberation struggle of Tajiks against Chinggis Khan. Inside there is a regional history museum. There is a massive wall around the fortress. The citadel and the gates were all rebuilt according to the original plan. There's a recreation of an old town with old houses and courtyards that belong to people of different trades and so much more.
It really takes you back in time. You feel like you're stepping into the 16th century all of a sudden.
Хотел бы жить в доме ковровщика?
Нет.
Здесь специально хранили хлеб, чтобы он высыхал и его можно было дольше употреблять.
Inside the main building, there is a number of fantastic, mesmerizing galleries. This place is just epic. If you want to see the city from above, take a cable car. The cable car is a new attraction to the city, and it was opened in 2019. There are cable car stations on both sides of the river, but I would suggest taking just a one-way trip, because the ride takes about 25 minutes, which is really slow for a short journey of approximately 1 kilometer.
Оказалось, что Мухаммеди ни разу не ездил на канатной дороге.
Да, впервые в жизни сел.
Поэтому я местным показываю достопримечательности города.
From above, you'll be able to see the city and its numerous sports facilities, like football fields, a football stadium, tennis courts, a swimming pool, and even an archery center. It will take you to the Somani Park. That's an interesting area with sculptures and fountains, and of course, a huge monument to Ismail Somani, and it gives you a great view of the city. Want to know a cool thing about Khujand? It has a sea. You don't believe me?
We have come to what they call the Tajik Sea. Of course, it's not a sea, it's a reservoir, Karakum Reservoir. But it's so huge, you cannot see the other shore.
Купаться здесь довольно-таки приятно. Там атмосфера хорошая. Летом лучшее место, чтобы приехать и отдохнуть со всей семьей.
Karakum Reservoir. They also call it the Tajik Sea. The dam was built in 1956, and before that, this area was a steppe. Along the coast, there are many health resorts from the Soviet times. Actually, I was visiting this place with my parents back in 1989, and I remember that year perfectly because I remember asking my dad how many years it was before the year 2000, and he said, oh, it's going to be 11 more years. And to me, a 7-year-old at the time, that felt like forever. You can visit one of those Soviet-era sanatoriums. This one is called Baharistan. They're like huge parks, and this one even has a small zoo. Then we went to the water and took a boat ride to enjoy some fresh air and have some fun. For $12, that's not a bad deal. After that, we decided to have lunch at one of the many restaurants that serve local fish.
Сейчас мы приехали в место, которое очень сильно славится рыбой. Здесь прям же ее ловят, здесь же ее готовят и приносят нам. Сегодня мы будем кушать рыбу сазан.
Я сам маленький, но хочу больше всего съесть, потому что эта рыба очень вкусная.
Всем приятного аппетита.
Приятного аппетита.
Khujand appeared to be a small, cozy and green city.
Nice streets, very walkable, tall trees, plain trees, and it's just got the vibe of a small town, and it's very enjoyable.
We stayed at Ilham's mom's place. The thing about Central Asian hospitality is that once you make some friends, forget about staying at a hotel. They're not going to let you.
Так, мы сегодня кушаем шула, очень вкусная, употребляется с чакой. С салатиком вообще будет супер.
Берешь чеку. Угу. Давай сюда. Оп. Перемешивать надо?
Да.
Угу.
Let's talk to Ilham's nephews and see what they have to say.
Это у нас Мухаммеди, Мурадали. Вы сейчас в школе учитесь?
Да, я в 10-м.
Я в 5-м.
Какие предметы нравятся в школе?
Ну, из моих любимых предметов алгебра, физика, химия, в основном точные науки.
А после школы какие планы?
Ну, я планирую продолжать в сфере программирования. Сейчас изучаю английский, изучаю язык программирования Python.
А оставаться в Таджикистане или какую-то еще страну рассмотреть?
Я планирую продолжение обучения после школы в Китае. Китай и Америка – это, возможно, это две самые, так сказать, лучшие направления, которые можно будет взять, перспективные направления.
Я люблю предметы биология, естественно, физкультура, математика и история.
Ребята, расскажите, вот как вообще жизнь двора происходит? То есть чем вы тут занимаетесь?
После школы в 3 часа все выходят на улицу, и мы все делимся на команды и играем в футбол. Прямо вот тут вот.
А, то есть отдельного поля нет, вы прямо на дороге
играете?
Нет,
прямо на дороге играем.
Как вообще здесь жить? Это спокойно, безопасно, что это?
Здесь очень спокойно. соседи спокойные, и вообще общество в городе очень спокойное. То
Преступности
есть,
нету?
Преступности нет, я не замечал ни разу еще.
Ясно.
Все спокойно, все тихо, мирно живут. Никто не докапывается ни до кого. То есть все по своим делам. И люди очень дружелюбные. В случае, если нужна будет помощь, они всегда готовы помочь.
Now let's take a look at rural Tajikistan. We'll visit some more of Ilham's relatives in a remote village. From above, you can see this village is located in a green oasis, surrounded by mountains.
So, a little introduction. The name of this village is Shavatki Poyon. The population is 2,000 people, and it's a very old village. Nobody knows how old it is.
Мы здесь живем, у нас очень свежий воздух, и вот отличный климат. Я здесь работаю учительницей русского языка. Вот лето у нас очень красивая погода, у нас приезжают из разных стран, вот как вы, туристы.
А какие фрукты? А, вижу, виноград растет, да, у вас?
Виноград, вот орехи, вот вишня, абрикосы разные, яблоки разные.
Привет всем, привет!
In every similar village, you'll see a group of men, aksakals, or white beards, sitting on a bench and chatting.
Здравствуйте, здравствуйте, добро пожаловать. Это горные деревни. Здесь где-то 1000 больше народ живет.
Чем вы занимаетесь?
Да, животным занимается.
Земледелие, животноводство.
И так живем. И народ на России тоже работает. Нету никакой семьи, чтобы один из них там не работал.
Короче говорят, вот молодые всех в России. Молодые.
Ага.
Отсюда деньги работают, отправляют. Мы так живем.
Деньги.
Да. Ой, это же на свай, да, у вас?
Да, вот на свай.
Покажите, пожалуйста.
Вот на свай.
Ага. Оп.
One of these guys invited us to have some tea. So let's go.
Целые лабиринты у вас.
Да. Вот еще молодежь.
Привет, ребята.
Чистокровные таджики они. Горные таджики. Салам алейкум.
Салам алейкум.
Пожалуйста, лепешки берите.
Все, лепешку беру.
Самый дорогой человек у нас гость. Гость это кто направит? Бог направит. Поэтому все рады, если в дом зайдет гость, независимо какой нации, какой веры у него есть или нету. Человек созданный Богом.
You'll see so many kids everywhere. Tajikistan has the highest population growth rate among the ex-USSR states. In the evening, they cooked plov for us, and it was delicious.
Зеленый?
Зеленый. Летом зеленый, а зима будем этот, черный. Называется кульча.
Кульча?
Кульча, да. Вот это еще средний, а это большой.
Ух ты!
Вот это плов таджикский. Оп.
Насколько это человек хватит?
Намного.
А скажите, у вас в деревне вообще алкоголь продается?
Нет.
Совсем нет?
Ни в коем случае.
И никто не пьет?
Ну, может есть, может
редко,
нет.
Да?
Редко,
да?
Редко.
А вот раньше, допустим, при Союзе тоже не было алкоголя вообще?
Не был там.
А тогда был?
Да.
В магазинах продавали?
Да, в магазине был.
Ага, а сейчас не стало?
Сейчас не стало.
You can add chaka, which is a sour dairy product.
Как соус, да, добавляешь?
Да, как соус.
Some people prefer to use hands instead of a spoon, but both are acceptable.
Какие здесь зарплаты в деревне?
Учителя
Ага.
от 1000 сомони до 2000 сомони.
Ага.
А это пенсионеры от 30-80 сомон.
А вы кем работаете?
Я работаю водителем грузовой машины. Мне зарплата от 5000 сомони до 10.
А, разброс.
Могу заработать в месяц.
Beautiful morning, guys. Beautiful morning. Good morning, village. 7 o'clock in the morning, but I missed the cattle drive. They did it around 6 o'clock. Couldn't wake up that early.
This village is incredibly beautiful, and locals showed great hospitality. This is where we slept. Like I said, once you make some friends in Tajikistan, you don't stay at hotels.
Very beautiful house. Let's take a look at some other rooms.
In the morning, they were cooking plov at a neighbor's place, and I thought I might help them slice some carrots. Look, I did a good job.
Привет, привет,
Привет, привет.
Now, most people come to Tajikistan to visit the Pamir Mountains. It's not an easy endeavor, and it takes anywhere from 4 to 12 days, depending how much you want to cover. The best season is during the peak of the summer. That's when it's dry and warm. Still, I decided to go even for one day, as I was captivated by this idea of traveling along the Panj River and seeing Afghanistan on the other side. And let me tell you, it was well worth it.
Вот мы сейчас с Вячеславом едем по Горно-Бадахшанскому автономному округу. Здесь так замечательно, прям очаровательно, познавательно, шикарно.
First of all, the views are mind-blowing, and then it was like a window to the other world. These are Afghan kids playing football. Can you believe that? Travelers need a permit in order to visit Gorno-Badakhshan Autonomous Oblast. Normally you can get it in advance through your tour operator or local embassy. Kalaykum is the nearest major town, and it offers some accommodations. There are some restaurants in the center with balconies protruding over a range and river.
Афганская сторона, как видно, там стоит КамАЗ. Это называется мост дружбы, он соединяет Таджикистан и Афганистан. Прогуляться там не получится.
We went to see a local site on a hilltop. It wasn't that easy, actually some 40 minutes walking uphill.
Last year there was an accident. There was a UN car with 6 people in it.
And the driver was backing up, and he did not see the end of this road, the cliff. So the car fell. 6 people died. Yeah. That's why we're walking. We're not driving here. We are walking.
This meadow is believed to be an ancient arena for the Central Asian sport of buzkashi, or dead goat polo. This plain field was a centerpiece of a once sprawling settlement, a political and religious capital inhabited for centuries, but since lost to history.
These are the ruins of an ancient village, probably several thousand years old. And yeah, nobody lives here anymore, except for those cows, I'm really amazed how those cows can climb this mountain in the morning and then go back in the evening every day, every single day. I'm tired from climbing it just once,
This rudimentary structure, believed to be a Zoroastrian fire temple. We went just for one day, so we didn't get to see much. The month of May was still a little too early because it would be cold at high altitudes, and there is always the possibility of landslides because of the rains. Just look at this. I'm telling you, mountain roads are no joke. We had to wait 2 hours for them to clear the road. Now, I thought it was a good idea to show you just a typical middle-sized town, Tursonzoda. The population is 57,000 people. Tursonzoda is a city in western Tajikistan, known for its aluminum smelting plant. But before 1978, it was called Rigar. And actually, I got a request from my mom's friends who used to live in this city back then. And they asked me to find that specific house where they used to live because they feel so nostalgic about it. And here I am on a mission to find that house. In the 1990s, my mom's friends moved to Russia. There was so much political turmoil, and lots of people had to move out. Russians, Tatars, Armenians, and others. Let's walk the streets and talk to people. Trying to get these berries, black berries. They call them tutovnik. Tut. I don't know the English name for that. Blackberries or something.
Как вас зовут?
Меня Ходжи Нумон.
Чем вы занимаетесь?
Я пенсионер.
А до этого какая профессия была?
До этого я техничный, как автобаза, начальник автоколонна был.
О, начальник.
Механик был, автоколонна, начальник вот такой.
Ясно.
Сейчас пенсионер. У
Отлично.
меня 76 лет.
76 лет.
Да. Живу спокойно, нормально. Благодарю Аллаха. Ну, у меня 2 сына, 1 дочка. Как русский. У меня не 9, не 11. А у меня отца, вот мои род, отец, 12 детей, 9 сыновей был и 3 дочери. 12 человек нас был. Жили хорошо, нормально.
Хорошо.
Сахар 87 копейки был. Чё было?
Помните?
Как?
And this is the house that I was looking for. It's a typical 9-story apartment block, with the only difference that in Tajikistan, you can cook plov right in the front yard.
То есть вы прямо во дворе делаете плов, да?
Да.
А это на всех или как?
Нет, это вот первый этаж соседи.
А, просто одна семья готовит.
Да.
Ага. Угу. Здорово.
The city is just lovely. Quiet neighborhoods, roses everywhere. We asked locals where is a good place to eat, and one of them actually volunteered to take us there for free. It was a nice restaurant, and if you find yourself in Tursonzoda, I highly recommend it.
Спасибо. Ух ты! Посмотрите. Шакроп.
We got chickpeas, we got carrots, we got cabbage, onion, and of course we got wonderful lamb. Ooh, so good. Шашлычок.
Я келем да есам га чуштиски ушан телефон.
Самое лучшее место это в Таджикистане, Ригар.
Погода хорошая, всегда жара. Вот. Видите, вот тот солнечный город. Вот все это, как называется, все натуральное здесь, не фаршевый, хороший все. Натуральные, это фрукты настоящие. Мы любим тоже Россию и Санкт-Петербург тоже любим. И наши братья там работают, мы здесь работаем, друг друга поможем. Вот.
Also, this is a major rice-growing region, producing 1,400 tons a year. It's in the western part of the Hizar Valley. All right, let's come back to Dushanbe. Dushanbe is growing fast. Just take a look at Aini Avenue.
This Aini Avenue was just recently completed. Now it looks like a very, very modern part of the city. Lots of stores on the ground floor, lots of apartment buildings and hotels all around.
In 2022, they opened Iskanderkul Park, which means Independence Park. Tajikistan got its independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. This park is enormous, and right in the center, you'll find a tower with a height of 121 meters. At the very top, there is an 8-meter titanium crown. There's an observation deck, which is located on the 14th floor at the height of 94 meters.
Make sure you visit the viewing deck on the 14th floor, and you get an unobstructed view on all of the city. You'll get to see all the sights from here.
On the ground floor, there's a museum displaying national musical instruments, national clothes, and a picture gallery. Dushanbe is a cosmopolitan city and has a good selection of restaurants with different cuisines from around the world. For example, this one serves Arab cuisine. This one is a plov place, and this one is a bar with live music. Sure, Dushanbe is becoming a cosmopolitan city, but if you want to feel the traditional bazaar vibe, no problem. Just visit the Mergan Bazaar. It's the best-known market in the city. This is where you can find some spices, dry fruits, meat, round bread, and tea. It's a bustling place, but not as big as the one in Khujand. I met a guy from Azerbaijan who specifically came to the place to buy some local tea with herbs.
Я именно из этого чая приехал, вот честное слово, не для рекламы. Облепиховый чай из Баку.
Очень
У
приятно.
меня все в Баку в шоке от этого облепихового чая. Серьезно.
From Dushanbe, you can take a day trip to the Nurek Dam. First of all, it's a beautiful drive. Along the road, you can buy some fresh berries.
У вас сад здесь находится, да?
сад
Это ягоды ваши?
Да, да.
Ой, как классно. We did not want to buy much, so they just gave us some for free.
Братан, возьми, если знаешь, возьми.
Еще этих взять? Спасибо.
All of that is fresh harvest.
The Nurek Dam, at 304 meters, is currently the second tallest man-made dam in the world. You can hire a boat and enjoy the scenery around Nurek Reservoir.
The scenery is great. Green hills and blue waters.
It's very amazing.
The total capacity for this hydroelectric plant is 3,000 megawatts. That's quite a lot.
The rivers of Tajikistan have great hydropower potential. There is another major dam that's been under construction since 1976, the Rogun Dam, but the construction was halted in 1993. When completed, it will be the highest dam in the world, 335 meters. This can boost the national economy because right now Tajikistan is the poorest ex-Soviet republic with a GDP per capita of just $1,200 in 2024, according to IMF. The average national salary is around $200 a month. Major exports are aluminum, electricity, cotton, fruits and vegetables, and textiles. Unlike its neighbors, Tajikistan does not possess large oil or gas deposits, and the country actually has to rely on immigrant remittances, which account for nearly 30% of the country's GDP. The gas is pretty expensive, $3.5 a gallon or 94 cents a liter, and that's almost 3 times more expensive than in Kazakhstan. But to be honest, the country had a rough start. It went through a civil war that lasted from 1992 through 1997, and it was brutal. For example, this is a random reminder from those days. This water tower was blown up by a bazooka. Emomali Rahman then took over and has been in power for over 30 years now. You'll see pictures of him all over the country, by the way, on both governmental and residential buildings. Despite low wages, on the streets of the capital, you will see a lot of nice cars. I wonder what those guys do for a living.
Very nice cars like BMW, Mercedes, BMW.
If you decide to drive in Dushanbe, don't forget about the ditches along the road. It's easy to drive into one of them, and I've seen people do that, or even fall when exiting from the passenger side.
This could be a trap, guys. You open the door and you fall right into the ditch. Gotta be careful.
Tourism is yet another opportunity for the country, but right now it's most limited to people who love mountains and hiking, and that's a very small niche.
My name is Peter. It's my first time in Dushanbe, and I'm here with Slava.
That's correct. What are some things you like about Tajikistan?
Tajikistan's a very nice place. I like the people, I like the culture, I like the nature of here. Everyone's very friendly, very nice. Very welcoming feel when you come to Tajikistan, so it's definitely a place that people should come to.
Now I know food is very different from American, so what are some of your favorite dishes?
I like kurtob, I like plov. Those are just the main ones that I know, but they're very delicious, so it's a must-have out here. You definitely have to try those too.
Have you had a chance to travel outside of the city?
Yes, Norak is a beautiful place that everyone should travel to. Beautiful water, it's up in the mountains. And it's by a dam. It's kind of a ways from here, about an hour, not too bad. Beautiful water, beautiful sights, and you'll love it. Go kayaking out there. So,
okay, good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You know, I think Tajikistan is one of the underrated countries when it comes to tourism, but in fact, it is so enjoyable, it is so affordable. If you decide to come here, you're not going to regret it. Mountains, great people, great cuisine, it's everything you need.
Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you in my next one.